Welcome back. This tutorial is devoted to council reports. Remember that within the 1Church1Day system, we've used the concept of leagues to form teams. Teams of people who pray and teams of leaders who meet together in council. Why? Because Revelation 12 teaches us that we're engaged in a spiritual war, and the issue at hand, my friends, are the souls of men and women, their eternal destiny in heaven or hell. That's the prize. And war requires strategy. Proverbs 24:3-6 reveals that there's wise counsel in a multitude, and it's essential for building and also for developing warfare strategy. During my service as a naval officer, I learned about the principles of war. I discovered that the Lord of hosts, God himself, was the author. That's why the timeless principles work. I've used these 8 major principles of war to develop the 1Church1Day strategy. The testimonies you've seen associated with this strategy are the fruit of churches applying these principles. To learn more, I'd encourage you to get my book, Developing Apostolic Strategy, or get my series on strategic leadership. I've tested these principles in the Navy, the business world while serving Fortune 100 companies, and through this prayer mobilization strategy. In fact, I attribute the remarkable supernatural testimonies in this system to the application of these ancient principles from God's Word. This system is designed to empower leaders to apply all these principles. The first principle of war is the principle of objective. One of the elements required to develop effective strategy is found within that principle. It has to do with up-to-date intelligence. In our system, most spiritual intelligence comes from people watching and praying. Much of the natural intelligence comes from those teams of leaders called to a certain sphere of society. I mean, think about it. Who would know more about what it would take to transform a state government other than leaders called to work within that area, such as a senator or representative? So, let's take a look at the council report. Please note that I will offer in-depth training on what I've learned about how to form and operate councils for our Kingdom Academy courses. For now, let's just focus on this report. Typically, there's a chairperson for a council. They'd be the one using the council calendar to schedule their team meeting. Once their meeting is completed, they'll prepare a council report. It begins with reporting when and where did the meeting take place. Next, we'll ask them to identify the council. In our training, we encourage leaders to use the 5-fold ministry and 7 spheres of society as a starting place if they don't have any. Please note this is not the end goal, but rather a starting place. You can create as many as you need. For example, in one city working with us, they don't have a government council. They have a police and fire department council. Why? Because that best describes who's working with them in that government, which we use to form decrees, and we ask them for metrics as well. We try to encourage them to identify the expected outcome so that we can gauge if our prayer strategy is happening. This provides an overview of the big picture with the most up-to-date spiritual intelligence available. This positions leaders with the best opportunity to create effective decrees and prayer targets. You'll find that in war, the more precise the target, the more focused the force, the less power that's required to accomplish the desired result. This means these principles empower any church, ministry, organization, or network to accomplish more with less. It's wise stewardship. Well, this concludes this tutorial. If you appreciate the training we've provided through the app and would like more, I'd like to invite you to visit our online store in Kingdom Academy. If you're a leader and would like to explore having the 1Church1Day system customized for your church, city, or region, or organization, then visit our website or contact our office.